Welcome back, everyone. This week's episode of the Condo Corner, we're talking about 55 Mercer and we're talking about Blackstone Group, what they're doing and how it affects you and how you need to listen to this episode. All right, 55 Mercer to me is one of the best, if not the best, building of the pre-construction launch season of 2020 in Toronto. It's in the entertainment district. The location is AAA, right at Mercer and King Street, just south of King, at the old Wayne Gretzky's bar and restaurant, if you're not familiar with it. The location is fantastic. It's solely centrally located. Literally steps from all sorts of amenities. Some of the best restaurants in Toronto. Of course, the entertainment district. Some of the job locations you have. Amazon's head office, Apple's head office, Facebook, Google, Oracle. Not head offices, but they're Canadian locations here. They're all sort of within walking distance of the building. All of the locations in terms of the restaurants are all there. You have some of the best hotels in the city are located within walking distance of this building. It's going to be one of those buildings where you'd wish you bought 4 or 5 years ago when it finally built and ran. You're like, oh my gosh, how would I even get into this thing? Today's the day. This week is the week of 55 Mercer launch. It's built by Center Court Developments. These guys are really making a tear through the Toronto condo new construction market. They had over 1,300 sales last year in 1 year, sold sales, which is an incredible number. It leads the field of all developers in the city. We're talking they're competing with some of the biggest developers in the city. So they led the field in that last year. They've got the best locations that launched in 2019, and this is going to be one of the best launches of 2020. So you really need to get in on this one on the ground floor. So the project starts around $1,450 a square foot and goes up from there. We're going to go through a couple of floor plans, the ones you need to buy, the ones you need to stay away from. Center Court, they've developed over 7,000 condos over the last 10 years. They're a fairly new developer, but they're really doing some incredible work. They've got an incredible team behind them, the visionary, their president, the founder. They've got this incredible effort of going fast and seeing incredible buildings, seeing incredible sites, getting things done on very difficult sites. They've developed Transit City, which is one of my favorite locations in all of Toronto, which is up in Vaughan Street. They're redeveloping the entire area. They've also developed Karma Condos, Peter Street Condos, Grid Condos, and a new project last year called the Forest Hill. So this one is their newest project of 2020 called 55 Mercer. Now for me, I've owned real estate in the entertainment district and I've done incredibly well over the years on King Street there. And the reason what drives it, there's so much demand from the young clientele who want to be in a condo. They want to be in the entertainment industry. They want to be in the heart of Toronto. It's the clubs on the weekend. It's the access to work during the week. It's, all your friends are there. Like, it's really the place you need to be. And there hasn't been much development. We're going to get into why. So there's another building that was being built just next to this, but which is converted to apartment buildings. And we'll get into the significance of this later in the show. But today we're talking about 55 Mercer. So it's a great building. Like I said, about $1,450 a square foot, which is a very conservative price point for the Toronto new condo market. There's a couple floor plans here I want you to see here. It's the Mercer 5, if you can see this one. This one, to me, is the one you need to buy. It's 479 square feet. It's a one-bedroom, really well designed, and really no lack of... there's no waste of space. That has a nice open balcony, good-sized bedroom. Now, they don't have a walk-in closet. I'm a little... I think they could have redesigned that a little bit better, but that's minor. That one starts around $650,000 for those and up. The second best one is this 1+ den. The reason why I like this 1+ den, it's 610 square feet. It's well designed. It's a rectangular shape. The den has a window and can be and probably will be used as a bedroom, as a second bedroom. But for now, it would just be it's a 1+ den with 2 bathrooms. But I do like this as a flex space of a 2-bedroom if you're looking for an investment property. This would garner between like $2,800 to $3,000 per month. These start from around $700,000. Now, what you need to avoid, and I'm really surprised actually by this design, it's called the Mercer 2. It's a 3-bedroom, looks like 2-bathroom, but the bathrooms are tiny. The 3-bedroom, you have side-by-side bedrooms, which is a very poor design. Neither bedroom, not one bedroom in this whole thing has a walk-in closet. You imagine spending $2 million and not getting a walk-in closet. This bedroom should be a walk-in closet, but they've made it into a very tiny little bedroom. Even the master suite isn't very good. It has an ensuite bath, yes, but a very small, sort of nothing design-wise I wouldn't be very interested in. So if you're interested in 55 Mercer, don't buy Mercer 2, but do buy Mercer 9 or Mercer 5. Those are the two best ones, the best values. It's going to retain its value the best and give you the most rent down the road. Now, in terms of the amenities, this is where Center Court really sort of makes a push forward for one of the best developers in the city. They're young guys there in the company, and they've got very smart ideas. They've got incredible vision of who's going to be living in these buildings. They're not just building for the sake of building. So the amenities, I wouldn't even call it amenities. It's more of a club. It's more of an actual like facility than amenities, which you're probably used to seeing in condominiums. So they've got a yoga club, a cardio studio, a weight room, an outdoor basketball court, of course, like what building doesn't have that, a dining room, boardroom, outdoor lounge, which is absolutely incredible. Here's where I really like where they're going with part of the cardio studio. They're putting in Peloton machines. Now this is where they are understanding who's going to be living in these units. They're understanding more and more of the clientele that they work from home, they're staying from home. More and more people are gravitating towards staying in the property. So having a Peloton within the amenities is amazing because you wouldn't be able to fit it in your condo, but I would absolutely use it myself personally if it was in the amenities space downstairs, which I think, I know how they work with the memberships, I don't know. We'll have to figure that one out, but I love the idea that they're putting it in there and they're visionaries of doing it. It's the first one that I know of in Toronto. And they're also doing a co-working space, which I absolutely love. Co-working spaces are really taking over the new office space. Most office is ours included. We have co-working space where we share facilities because I don't use a boardroom every single day, but when I need one, it's there. And they're building a co-working space within the building, which is absolutely incredible. I believe it's only used for the people who live in the building. So this building is really going to gravitate towards younger people. They're going to be gravitating toward people who work from home, young entrepreneurs, people starting their own businesses. But you have the flexibility of having it all built into your building, which is absolutely incredible. And I'm very excited about 55 Mercer, and you should be as well. Now, when it gets down to it, if you're interested, one, subscribe to our channel, and of course, like this video. If you don't like it, let me know too. Either way, it's fine. It's your opinion. But at the end of the day, if you're interested, give us a call. Our number, we'll post the information later, or go to our website, or follow us all our social media handles. Now, what I also want to talk to you about is, which is what we sort of alluded on earlier in the video in terms of what's going on in terms of development in the city of Toronto. Now, there was a few towers actually last year that were Zone 4 development for condominiums that were converted to apartment buildings. If you haven't seen the news this week, Blackstone Group just acquired a $6 billion apartment portfolio in London. Now, it was something around 6,000 units. It was an incredible purchase. The person who put it all together, absolutely amazing team. Blackstone Group bought it. Now, if you haven't heard, Blackstone Group is the largest real estate holder in on planet Earth at this point. They hold $362 billion out of $368 billion of real estate holdings all around the world. They're mostly buying in apartment complexes, and they're some multi-residential, and they're buying warehouses, surprisingly. They buy everything, but those are two big things. Warehousing is, they did an article last week in the news, and they talked about the warehousing, how everything's moving away from retail, and basically going to be, in the future, going to be all Amazon and delivered to your door and on demand, but you still need to house the product. So these guys are investing in the warehousing that's going to be housing that down the road. They just acquired something like $400 million worth of warehousing space in Chicago a few weeks back. So they're very aggressive in what they're buying, but they're also good visionaries of why they're buying it. Now, when it comes to multi-residential, this is what I want to talk to you about today. So home ownership is dying, and people are not recognizing and realizing how beneficial renting is and being a tenant is. And the thing I love about what's going on in Toronto is they're building and redesigning apartment complexes from what you probably realized in your head years ago what they are, these rundown, no amenity buildings. Yes, the rent's cheaper, but you have nothing there to show for it. The new developers are coming in and building basically like high-end condominiums, but having them as rental properties. The reason why it's important is because if you don't have $6 billion to invest in 6,000 units in London, England, or you don't have $400 million to invest in Chicago, or you don't have, here we're looking at $40 million small, like 100 unit buildings. It's very expensive to get into the game. But this is why condominiums have been such a big push in the Toronto real estate market. It's the alternative, it's the affordable alternative for investors, and it's the affordable alternative for people who want to be tenants in higher end properties compared to apartment complexes. So that's what's really pushing the condo market. And if you look at, there's an old mantra in real estate that cash flow is king, which is true. Now, new condos don't cash flow like multi-residential, but the why they're so popular is because with the masses, they have the money to invest in one or two properties, but they don't have the money to invest in 6,000 units at the same time. And that's why the condo market is so important. That's why you have to get into 55 Mercer. That's why you need to call us. We will steer you through to the right investments, and we're going to definitely make sure you get a property that's going to give you wealth throughout the rest of your year. So give us a call. We're always here to help, and we're always here to talk about the real estate market.